The other day, I went to go see this movie called Dhurandhar with my parents and my girlfriend. I am Indian. I was born in Canada. Parents are from Punjab. I think we're half Hindu, half Punjabi. Growing up, we moved to Canada. Third grade, I moved to Louisville, Kentucky. Whole family did. We have family here. So growing up, I wasn't really pushed towards any religion. I was never really pushed to do this or to do that in the sense of religion. Career wise, yes, I've been pushed a lot in ways that are probably not direct. And I'm sure if you're Indian, you have also felt these indirect, passive ways of telling your kids what to do, what career choices to make, who to marry, who to be friends with, stuff like that. Great parents, but I wasn't brought up with hatred. I wasn't brought up with ideologies of, okay, this team is better than this team, this country is better than so I was open to learning by myself. This movie was very interesting. I am not going no, didn't go into this movie thinking, okay, I'm pro India, pro this, pro that. What they did was wrong, what they did was right. It was a great movie. One thing it made me realize was I was sitting there in the movie theater. It was packed. I looked online before going in. It was sold out. Everyone's been talking about it. I saw this PR piece, or it was like a news of the main actor Ranbir Singh mocking this other movie, Kantara. There was like a scene where this god comes into this being and he sticks his tongue out and makes a scary face. It's a very that is the scene that I remember from that Kantara movie. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. I do need to rewatch it. It was a lot that was going on. Same with this movie. They're under 3 hours and something minutes long, was very long, very, very interesting. I found it interesting. One thing it made me realize was, okay, in the movie, I'm sure if you're watching this, you know the story. He's a spy from India infiltrating a gang in Pakistan and, developing the trust over the years. And it's a true story. So he, gets involved with the gang and sort of destabilizes and destroys the gang from the inside out, like Brutus did to Caesar in an opposite way. Obviously, I don't know much about history. I do know Brutus betrayed Caesar, same way the guy betrayed Jesus. Not to say that anyone is Jesus or a Messiah in this movie, but they did have a quote that really grabbed my attention. It was saying, "A to Brutus," in Latin. That means, "And you, Brutus?" Basically, at the end of the movie, when this is spoiler alert, when the main character kills the villain, they were on the same team, the villain thought. Obviously, this betrayal. This really made me think about how we live in this society and we see the evils that are. So, this spy went into this gang and he saw the evils and like the horrific stuff they were doing, celebrating terrorist attacks, the 26/11 attack. I need to learn more about it. I'll make a separate video on that topic. If you would like more videos on this topic or movie reviews, let me know in the comments below. Positive and negative reviews, let me know what you guys thought about the movie. If you've watched it or if you want to watch it or if you don't care for it. A spy is sent into this underworld, this hellish world, and forced to adapt into this world and learn the ways of these people and, unethical demonic ways of being, hurting people without blinking an eye, celebrating terrorist attacks. And it makes you really think, like, I sometimes, not to say I'm a spy or anything, but sometimes in this world, you see all of the horrific stuff that's going on, and we are forced to pick a career that's, very materialistic in the sense of you need to figure out a career that can, at least, first of all, support you. Second of all, you can show off to other people that you have more than what you need. And this is pushed on by our families and societies of wanting to fit in, and if you don't, then you're ostracized from society in a way in your own head. In reality, no one gives a fuck. Do whatever you want to do that brings you happiness. Obviously, don't hurt anyone, But we are forced to live in this world that makes us get into a career or a type of life where you need to make good money and you need to be successful in certain aspects of your life. And being successful in this Kali Yuga that we live in, evil world, in a way, obviously, you can change your perspective how you want it. There is a lot of evil that's going on in this world. Similar, I made a video with the P. Diddy documentary. I made a video, if you scroll down, Akash Singh. Not to say that Akash Singh's situation is evil, but it is a form of, it's showing that not only him, but there's Pierce Morgan, there's everyone's relationship, there's something that's going on in the world, some corruption. Something doesn't feel right. And I have been feeling this feeling in myself. Like I have to change. Like sometimes I wish I was less empathetic. Sometimes I wished because like this sociopathic society that we live in that forces us in a way to behave in a less empathetic, more sociopathic way and to idealize and look up to, similar to how P. Diddy looked up to these demonic figures that he worshipped, in the sense of, his role models, his dad. He never knew other rappers who were doing the same activities that he is in trouble for today. And they got away with it. And when you look up to certain people and society pushes you to okay, let's say you're a doctor, good career, but you're charging, let's say, $100,000 for a heart operation. Obviously, you have very little control on the price tag of that unless it's your own private practice. And even then, there's expenses. Things are expensive. I personally would feel like shit if I gave someone $100,000 bill knowing they can't pay for it, knowing that they might go down a very dark hole once they receive this bill. Because who can pay for a $100,000 bill unless you have a lot of money? Yes, there's payment plans, but why is it $100,000? We get placed in these careers that our parents push us to be in, and later on we are like thinking, I am selling a product that is not priced in an ethical way, or I am doing something that is in a chain, that I am involved in a chain that is also involved with very evil, like, not to say this, but like, human trafficking, this and that, a child labor, if you're working for Nike and this and that, Apple, it's somewhere down the line, there's going to be some unethical behavior. I'm sure there is in these big companies. And sometimes I feel like to survive in this world that seems to be evil at the moment, or the people in power seem to be more evil, it feels like I have to adapt into that. Not exactly an evil person, but sometimes I sit there and I question myself. Should I be less empathetic? Should I be more sociopathic? Because everyone, in a way that I have, your parents, oh, this guy, silicone billionaire. You do research on it, and I don't know. There's a lot of messed up stuff going on. You can do any business. There's always people trying to fuck each other over in this way or that way. Um, and this isn't, I'm not saying every industry is like this, but overall in life, when I went to high school, talking to women, making friends, it's not as plain simple, making money, figuring out your career. In this world, you can't just be, yes, be honest, treat people how you want to be treated. And I will always preach that. But if you don't know someone, sometimes it's good to be Machiavellian. It's good to learn and adapt those dark triad traits so that the people who are actually by nature a dark triad and have all of those triangle characteristics don't take advantage of you, so that they can see from a mile away that this person is not someone to mess with. Look, there's countries where you're not allowed to have a gun, I think. So how do you defend yourself when the police is not, making themselves available to help you, when gangs come and extort your business for money? This happens in a lot of countries. I can make a whole series about this and that, and I've heard stories from my dad in India and Canada and a lot of stuff that's going on. It's interesting. I need to learn more about it. But this movie really made me sit there and think, I literally feel like this whole world is an evil gang, and we, the good people, I'm sure a lot of people are good people. If you're watching this, I'm sure you're a good person. I'm sure most people are good people. But when everyone around you is doing evil things and saying it's good, this hypocrisy, people judging other people's relationships when, they damn well have no handle, control over their own. So you'll uh, discriminate other relationships or discriminate this career or that career just because you might have you're projecting some issue that you have. So I feel like this world, to me, obviously everything is changing, and it takes just one person to light a spark and everyone will shine with that one spark. But sometimes I do think adapting some of these dark triad traits of the, like how the main character in this movie did, to fit in and then to infiltrate internally. And not to say you need to infiltrate anything, but to fit in certain times of your life, in certain places, behaving and adapting to the times, knowing that, okay, if people are doing this, I shouldn't feel bad. Like, personally, me, I'm a very, I've said this many times. I have a video on it too, if you scroll down. Overly empathetic. So for me, it feels like I have to constantly switch that off, which I don't like because it's very beneficial with, one-to-one connection with people. You develop a strong bond. But sometimes I don't want to develop a strong bond with some random stranger or cashier that I'm just feeling bad for. So I'm going to make this video about 12 minutes. I'm going to end it here. If you want more stuff like this, my thoughts on current hot topics that are just circulating in my mind, movies I've watched, everything seems to be connecting in some way. And if you found this interesting, let me know in the comments below. I've been getting some feedback on the last video regarding P. Diddy's case and the documentary I found interesting. And I do read every single comment. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys. Do check this movie out.